Good morning students. Now in today's video we are going to study what is meant by flow regimes and what are its importance in vacuum physics. And in the last video we have studied the kinetic theory of gases, its some postulates, and obtained the formula of a pressure exerted by a gas on the boundaries of a vessel. Now let us discuss what is meant by this flow regime, or what is a flow regime. This flow regime is nothing but a flow pattern, right? And it is essentially description of a flow structure or a distribution of one fluid phase relative to the other, or I can say it's a distribution of one fluid layer with respect to other. That's called as a flow regime or a flow patterns. Typically gas flow in vacuum system is divided into three main categories or three main regimes, and these three main regimes are turbulent flow, molecular flow, and laminar flow, or it is also called as a viscous flow, or sometimes it is also called as a continuum flow. So these are the three main regimes, we can say, or categories of a flow in a particular fluid. The fluid may be a liquid or a gas. So what are the three different regimes? Turbulent flow, laminar flow, and molecular flow. So this gas in vacuum system can flow. The flow can be a viscous flow or molecular flow, or it may be in a state which is intermediate between these two. When the system is brought from atmospheric to high vacuum, the gas is said to be in the system which goes through all these flows or states. The mean free path of the gas molecule is very small at atmospheric pressure, and so thus the flow of a gas is limited. At low pressure, when mean free path of the molecule is similar to its dimensions of the vacuum enclosure, then the flow of the gas is governed by viscosity as well as by the molecular phenomena, and this flow is called as intermediate flow. At very low pressure, where the mean free path is much larger than the vacuum enclosure, then the flow is called as a molecular flow. In the range where the state of the gas is a viscous, then flow can be a turbulent or a laminar. When the velocity of the gas exceeds a certain value, then the flow is a turbulent. The flowing gas layers are not parallel. Their direction is influenced by any other obstacles in the way, and at low velocities the viscous flow is a laminar. That is, the layers are parallel to their velocity, increasing from the wall towards the axis of the pipe, and thus we can say the three different categories of the flow. And now the question arises that what we can use to categorize these kind of flow regimes. And to categorize these various types of the flow regimes, we use Reynolds numbers and Knudsen number. So these two kind of numbers are used to categorize the flow regimes, and in these flows the molecules collides with each other as well as the physical boundaries, if there are some physical boundaries, or with the boundaries of the vessel, if there are, right? So let's briefly discuss about Reynolds number and Knudsen number. and then we'll discuss the physical significance of these two numbers. So Reynolds number is a dimensionless quantity and it is expressed as rho suffix e is r suffix e is equal to rho vd by eta, where rho is the density of a gas, v is the velocity, eta is the viscosity, and d is the dimensions of the tube or pipe or a vessel, whichever the tube or pipe you are using. Capital D is the dimensions of that tube or pipe or a vessel. The limit between turbulent and laminar flow is defined by the Reynolds number. And Coulson number, it is a ratio of mean free path to the diameter of the pipe or the tube or vessel, and hence Coulson number is denoted by letter K, and it's equal to lambda by T, right? Now this is what the physical significance of these two numbers, Reynolds number and Coulson number. So let us say these are the flow regimes or state of the gas, and these are the flow regimes, and these are the significant numbers of Reynolds number and Coulson number, right? So if the flow is a viscous, and then the flow is said to be a turbulent or laminar. If the Reynolds number is greater than 2100, then the viscous flow is said to be a turbulent. Or if the Reynolds number for this viscous flow is less than 1100, then the flow is said to be a laminar. By using the Coulson number, we can say if the Coulson number is greater than 110, then the flow is said to be a laminar. If the Coulson number is in between 1 and 110, then it is an intermediate flow, and if the Coulson number is less than 1, then it is called as the molecular flow, right? So this is what the physical significance of Coulson number and Reynolds number, right? So I think you have understood what are the flow regimes and what is used to categorize the flow regimes and the significance of these two numbers, Coulson number and Reynolds number. Thank you.